This afternoon, I'm going to explain the who, what, where of Omega Tactical. Actually, I'm going to share who, what, why, where, and when of Omega Tactical. The why, because, and this is not the part of the answer, but the reason I'm doing this live feed is because very few people really know or understand who we are or what we do or when we do it or where we do it or why we do it. And so I want to cover some of those things so that people understand exactly all those issues as it relates to Omega Tactical Concepts. Chances are that if you're listening to this now, you're probably one of those people that don't know who we are, what we do, where we're at, when we do it, and all the other things. Advertising is extremely difficult for what we do. Getting people's attention is extremely difficult to do, and then getting them to understand exactly what we do and how we do it is even more so difficult. So that's what we're going to do this afternoon. My name is Paul Kerner. First of all, I'm co-owner of Omega Tactical Concepts. I'm also our senior instructor and training coordinator. I'll explain who I am and who my partner is in more detail in a few minutes, but first I'd like to encourage everyone who is watching and listening this afternoon, and those that may come on and watch the broadcast, the rebroadcast. I'd like to encourage you to be engaged with this video. I would encourage you, for example, to let me know where you're at. Give me some hearts and some wows and whatever it may be. The more interactive, the more this will reach people, and they'll be able to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it and the benefits of it. So I'd like to basically the purpose of this video and future videos is to be more engaged with the people that are out there in the public, those that are in law enforcement, those that are protecting their churches, those that are protecting the private schools here in West Virginia, the people that are protecting themselves and loved ones and innocent people. We're trying to be more interactive, more engaged with those type of people, which is the purpose and point of the video. It's the point and purpose of what I'd like to or encourage you to be active. I'd like you to comment where you're from, if you do carry, how often do you carry, what you carry as a weapon system, that type of thing. And then next week we're going to have another broadcast about this same time next week, Wednesday around 4 o'clock. The content will change, obviously, and it will for weeks to come. Another way you can help engage with us is to like our page, to share our page, to in the comments if you think someone would be interested in our page and our videos and that are to come and the type of training that we will produce and or help you here online. Share our videos, share our page, share or tag someone in the comment section as someone that might be interested in it and that type of thing. Hi Rachel, how are you? I miss seeing you guys. For example, this week we're going to talk about we're here at our training facility. I was going to start outside. Unfortunately, the neighbor is mowing and weed eating and making an extreme amount of noise, so I had to move inside. I actually apologize for that because it's boring to sometimes just sit and listen to somebody, but hopefully it will work out okay. So I'd encourage you to be engaged. Hi, Wayne. I encourage you to be engaged. I encourage you to like our save notifications on our video section of our Facebook site, which will then notify you when we're doing something new. And as this progresses, since this is new for us, as this progresses, I will start giving particular tips on defending yourself and concealed carry, the best practices, hints on what you should look at in your training, both on the range and off the range, different things like that, things that we teach, but we need to help other people before they get to actually do the training. So that's what we're doing. We're reaching out. So again, I'm Paul Kerner, co-owner of Omega Tactical Concepts. I'm the senior instructor. I'm also the training coordinator. So when we look into who, what, when, where, why, and what Omega Tactical does, I'm going to start with who are we. I've talked about me. Thank you, Wayne. I hope we'll get back to training soon also. I talked about me a little bit. I'll go into more detail on myself here in a little bit, but I want to talk about my partner first. We both are retired troopers from here in West Virginia, but we had different and very distinct different careers. So I'm going to start with Bob, and he is I am our senior instructor. He is the lead instructor. For no better terms. He's the mastermind behind our courses, our training, and the things that we do. And he's brilliant at it. I can say that because he's not watching. But Bob was in law enforcement for 24 plus years with the state police. His experience includes over 21 years as a member of the West Virginia State Police Special Operations section, and it included time as the director of special operations training, 15 years tactical team experience, very extensive amount of experience as a K-9 handler and a K-9 trainer and K-9 administrator. And during that time, Bob had, hey Dakota, how are you? So during that time, Bob had extensive experience developing, organizing, and planning and instructing small and large-scale lethal force scenarios on and off the range. And this training he accomplished, first of all, safely. Hey, Brett. Hey, Harry. So he trained them safely, but he accomplished hundreds of students that came through, and from mass murder incidents to one-on-one lethal force scenarios. Bob has a bachelor's degree from West Virginia University, also has an associate's degree in police science from Marshall University. He's a certified handgun, shotgun, patrol rifle instructor. He's a mechanical breaching instructor, chemical agent instructor, and explosive breacher. He's got the credentials to hey Sarah, how are you? To back up his training, but Bob doesn't just have that lengthy time of experience and the training accolades. Bob has used every one of these things that he's trained in real life and in situations where he's been forced to stop lethal force with lethal force. In a nutshell, Bob's he's lived his training, his experience in an act of real life situations, including lethal situations and hostage situations. And in fact, in 2013, Bob was awarded the West Virginia State Police Medal for meritorious service for an incident which resulted in him receiving a gunshot wound from an assailant that was absolutely determined to have a gun battle with law enforcement. and Bob received that medal, not for getting shot. He received that. Hey, Charlie, how are you, man? He received that medal because when he got shot, he went back in and finished the job he had to do. Hey, Terry. In short, Bob Mefford is the true face of our training, with the experience and training to back it up, and he is what I call the man. He would hate to hear me say that, but he's the man when it comes to training and tactical issues and knowing what works and what doesn't work, and the little hints that he can help with things. Which brings us to me again. My name's Paul Kerner. My experience is distinctly different than Bob's. My experience, I had 25 years of law enforcement experience, also in the West Virginia State Police. But most of my experience was conducting drug investigations, including felony and or potential felony traffic stops. Hey, Scott, how are you? It included a lot of undercover work, and these things I did on a daily basis. So most of my experience was involved in deploying unconventional tactics as it relates to traffic stops and plainclothes policing and that type of thing. Bob and I both are certified instructors. We have extensive training. My career was different. My training was different. My experiences were quite different, but they all included some accolades of my own, and that is that in 1995 and 1996, I was nominated and was runner-up for Trooper of the Year here in West Virginia as a state trooper. And in 1996, I received a Distinguished Service Medal award from the Chief of Police Association, which is handed to or awarded to the most outstanding police officer in the state of West Virginia. So who we are is important. I hate talking about it. Bob hates talking about it, but I know that if someone is looking for training, if they want to know who's training them, they need to know who it is. And so that's why I bring that to you of who we are. And both of us have a great deal of extensive training experience. And when I talk about our training experience and how we train, which I will talk about in another segment on how we train, but I don't want you to take my word for it. I'm perfectly fine if you know someone that knows us. Talk to them about it, ask them about us, particularly Bob, because he is the mastermind behind our training. Hey, TD. And so, but also you can look at our reviews on Facebook. I don't know of a bad review. I don't know of a review on our Facebook page that is below a 5, and it starts at 5. So please review them, review their comments, look into who we are. As you should with anybody that you have trained. So, again, before I move on to the what and where, I'm going to kind of combine those things. I want to pause again to encourage you to like, love, or wow, share this video, make comments, tag people in the comments that you think may be interested in this video, and just as importantly, future videos, because again, I'm starting a series. This is the first of many, I hope. It's the basics of who, what, when, where, and why, Omega tactical concepts. But as we go through, we're going to go to different topics and talk about certain different hints of tactics. And we might even have Scott there come on as a guest maybe sometime if he's willing to do that. Scott, would you be willing to do that? I'm sure that you probably would. You do awesome work and videos of your own. Maybe you can join us sometime. But so there's going to be future broadcasts, and if you know someone that might be interested, please be engaged and stay in tune with what we're doing and what's going on, and like it and share it and tag people that might be interested, whether it is law enforcement or someone who is involved in church security, private schools. We train private schools and or good law-abiding citizens that carry every day. Hey, Brock. So I encourage you to share and like and so forth. That helps reach out to the other people that may be interested in this. So the reason, one of the reasons that I'm asking you to do that is because we're all about proactively protecting the innocent. Hey, Cindy, we're all about proactively protecting the innocent, and that's our thing basically. And so we're trying to get the word out. We're trying to get people to support what we're doing so that we can save lives. That's the nutshell. All right, so that's who we are. Okay, so what about what and where? And I'm going to walk you through our facility now so that you can see it. I'm inside again. I was going to start outside. I got to get this off the tripod. Hey, Okie. So I was going to start outside and show you the outside first, but the neighbors are doing their thing. So I'm going to go out here just briefly and let you take a look at what's going on outside here, or what is around here. So we have a large parking lot, plenty of free parking. And this building that we are in is actually I hope I get these videos right, is actually a old church. It's labeled out front with big signs, if you can see that. And as we go inside here, I'm gonna turn this around. So I'm gonna turn this around and see if I can't flip this camera around. Tim, hey Barb. All right, this will work better for me. All right, so this is the inside of our facility. It's an old church, as I said. We have it set up to where we have the pews that we still have are here. We push them out of the way. We store some of them. We keep them so that we can do church security courses here at our facility. You will see these curtains. They are hung by wires. Now these wires stretch all the way across the ceiling, and we have several of them. I don't know how well you can see them or how well you can't, but where the curtains are is where the wires are. And we can drape this. We can make this huge old sanctuary into, I think, nine different, 9 different rooms. Actually 12 different rooms. 12 different rooms. We can make rooms on the side and a hallway down the middle. We have this adjustable shelving that does a lot of different things. There's some rollers. We roll it around. We have this countertop that we set up. We have other little things around I won't go into. We have the pulpit still. We have all these things not just for church security, but we use it for civilian training as it relates to lethal situations. We also use it for law enforcement. We have this hallway. Anyone who knows about tactics at all would have a difficult time with this hallway. As you come through the hallway, you have a stretch down, you have a door to the left, you have a door to the right, and you have stairs right behind you. So this part of our facility, we have set up a little living room, waiting area. We have a little dining room, like a kitchen area, and a bedroom. And we go upstairs. Upstairs we have a couple of bedrooms. We have to the right, we have a little larger bedroom, like for a husband and wife. This is part of our civilian training as far as home defense is concerned. have a little office and another smaller bedroom for like children. We use this part of our facility, and it just kind of circles back around. We close the doors that we don't need to use. So we use this part of the facility for law enforcement, for teaching church security teams on how to clear rooms, how to get people and save people quickly. And we use it for home defense, which we even, or sometimes we include the home defense portion into lethal situations. So this is our facility. It seems simple, but it has a great deal of potential of training. Let me switch this camera back around. Sorry about that. Hi, Alice. Kara says to not forget to tell you the address. I was going to get to it later, but I can get to it now. So our address is 465 Walnut Street, St. Albans, West Virginia. We are very blessed to have a great deal of support from the community now and law enforcement here locally. We're very blessed to have the city's blessings and good support from the city. So this is our facility. This is what it looks like. Within our facility, we teach a lot of different things. When I use the terms lethal situations and law enforcement and church security and so forth, we put them in the dynamics that they may be in real life. So where we have the curtains and we have the pews, or we move the pews, we bring in tables or chairs or countertop or shelving or whatever, and we put it in the dynamics of what a real situation would look like. We bring in what we call role players or actors who then act out a scenario based on a certain learning point that we have for the participants. And this, each and every single training is adjusted to the level of experience that participant has. So if we could have someone who's never done anything in a training course with someone who has extensive training within law enforcement or military, we could put on the same scenario, the same learning points, but ramp it up or down according to what their experience is. I just touched my face, which is a no-no today, isn't it? I touched my tongue, actually, but I'm not around anybody, so except for Kara. So one of the things that we teach, however, particularly with civilians, is that not every situation requires, hey, Jeff, not every situation, in fact, most situations don't require someone to go from one place to another. It's in most circumstances, unless you have to go protect someone, it's more of maintaining your position and being as safe as you can where you're at rather than moving. So we do both of those. We do the law enforcement movement. We do church security, where the church security members will go and defend or maybe have to take out a threat to protect the innocent people. And we do the same thing for those people that are civilians that carry concealed weapons permit, that want to not just protect themselves and their family, but they want to be that protector. And so we address those things as well. So we also teach in West Virginia. You can teach private schools, or private schools are allowed by law to have concealed weapons within their staff. Unfortunately, they don't train the ones that are doing it that I'm aware of, with the exception of one. Hey Tiffany, we have trained one group in Logan County. They did an awesome job. I will not mention their name because they, at one time at least, they didn't want that public. They may now, but that's up to them. But most private schools don't train, and they need to. So those are the kind of things, just kind of briefly what we do. This is where we do it. Again, I'm going to pause for a second to encourage you to be interactive. Share this with someone. Like it, love it, wow it, whatever it is. Hey, Tammy. Tag someone in this that might be interested in what we're going to do. Again, maybe not today because this is a little boring. I get it, but next week we're going to go to the range. I'm going to show people where it is that we do our range training, and talk about the range that we're going to or that we utilize and what they have to offer. You may or may not want to be a member yourself, regardless. And I'll talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages of range training as well next week. But so anyway, I'd encourage you to be interactive, like, share, go to your notifications on our videos for our Facebook page, and click that you can be notified of our videos all the time, so that you can see what's going on, what we have to offer as far as our advice and our hints of training, that type of thing. So I'd encourage that. But so as far as our facility is concerned, it's not the range, and we don't treat it as a range. Hey, Billy. We treat it as a real life situation. In a real life situation, you have 360 degrees, which if you are not really understanding that, 360 degrees means all around you. So what we do with that is we put you in our facility here, and we will fit you with a helmet like this one. I'm not going to put it all the way on because it's probably going to clip my ears, but it comes down, obviously. We require you to put this neck protection on and a groin protection, and then we hand you one of these little jewels. It is a real, I'm going to move this a little bit here. We're going to come over here. I'm going to show you this. Also need to get my glasses on, I guess. Hold on one second. So what we do here is we make you wear the safety equipment, and then we have live people in here that are role players, actors of a sort, and we give you a real Glock 17. Now, this Glock 17 is actually converted to only shoot what is called non-lethal training ammunition. Now, that is what's in this magazine here. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up, and I'm going to angle this camera correctly, I hope, to where you can see this target and me. Now, with this ammunition and these weapons, you don't have to have hearing protection. If you're just shooting at a target like I am here, you need some sort of safety glasses of a sorts to keep anything that might ricochet come back on your face and puncture your eyes or something. That's very important. If we're in scenarios, however, we wear the full mask and the neck protection and groin protection, because you may get shot with it. So that's the difference. Now, I don't have hearing protection on, and you'll see why. Because when I go over here, I'm hoping you can still see me. You can. All right. So when I go over here, it's a real gun. The ammunition, however, isn't going to kill anybody, and it isn't going to damage anything. In fact, I got another clip here. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but the curtains, the reason we use curtains is when I shoot this curtain, it simply bounces off or falls to the ground. So It's kind of like paintball on steroids, is how I describe it. It's not really a perfect description, but it's used to make the environment 360 degrees. It is also used because there's consequences to your actions. There is consequences to your actions in real life. There is, hey Matt, there's consequences, hi Reg. There's consequences to everything that we do, but when it's a life and death situation, that should not be the first time that you have dealt with that, and it doesn't have to be now, because we are able to utilize this non-lethal training ammunition and training weapons to put you in real life situations and circumstances in order for you to deal with the situation, manage the situation. Sorry, I'm trying to do something at the same time here. I apologize. You don't want to look up my nose hole, right? All right, so this is what the ammunition looks like. This is it is not a 9mm, but it fits in these guns, which is a Glock 17, which generally would be a 9mm. These are downsized to only fit in these weapons and only shoot from these weapons. These weapons can only shoot this ammunition. It can't shoot like a 9mm round. So the other ammunition we have that can actually shoot out of a gun are these rounds, and they're very similar. It's Simunitions of, yes. These are not Simunition brand. We use a different brand. We normally use Force on Force if we can. They're a little bit better rounds. They work better. They hold up better. And of course, we also want to do this box. We have in 223 rounds as well. And we don't store our weapons here, so I don't and I didn't bring a AR-15 or M&P 15 or what have you, but we can do these weapons. We can do shotgun work if you have shotguns that you want to work with in a scenario, particularly with home defense. We have if you carry a wheel gun, a revolver, a 38 or 357. We have the rounds that you can actually use your weapon of your own. You can, if you have a holster for a Glock that will fit a Glock 17, we encourage you to bring those. We have some that are more law enforcement type, but generally, I'm gonna have to work this live thing out a little bit better. Eventually, I'll get okay with this. So, I didn't bring a shotgun to show you. I didn't bring the AR-15. I didn't bring a wheel gun. Just trying to give you an idea today who we are, what we're about, where we're at, our facility, what we do, what we use, our equipment, our capabilities a little bit. If you have any questions, please ask. I'll do my best to answer them. So let me see where we're at here. When we bring in the role players, part of what we do is we help people understand that not only that they need to make good sound decisions, but we help them to make good sound decisions. And when I'm talking about that, we're talking about emotionally, mentally, physically, and tactically. We're called Omega Tactical Concepts. We teach tactics. We teach tactics on the range. We teach tactics here in our facility. We work with people to underexpose themselves if they're trying to clear a room or simply taking cover. If you go into a gas station and something happens and you have to find cover, how do you do it? Where do you go? How do you minimize your exposure and still keep an eye on the target and that type of thing? Hey, Regina. So, still praying for you and Randall, by the way, Regina, just so that you know, and the family of the young man down in Logan that lost his life the other day. But but when we talk about these sound decisions, emotionally, mentally, physically, and tactically, those are all important elements to dealing with a lethal situation or a possible lethal situation. So we put you in that situation, and the reason that I showed you this gun today was that it hurts if you get shot. Quite frankly, it doesn't kill you. It doesn't. Regina here was one of our students a while back. She did an awesome job. I actually got to shoot her, by the way. Regina, does it hurt to get shot? And what happens to briefly? What happens to your leg when you're shot? It hurts. So there's consequences to our actions or lack of action. So we help you deal with that emotionally, mentally, and physically, not just tactically. If you know there's a consequence to it if you do something wrong or not necessarily even wrong, but something that is not to your advantage, you're more likely to not do that again. So the reason that we use simunitions instead of airsoft or something lesser is because we the consequences of it makes your adrenaline go up huge. It doesn't really, hey Andrew, it doesn't really matter how good you are at the range. It doesn't matter how well you are with your weapon. If you can't manipulate it, if you can't deal with the stress of the situation and you panic, you're going to have problems. And that's what we do. We put you in situations so that when things happen, you react and respond according to your training, not what you think you would do, because you won't do what you think you'll do. We never rise to the occasion like we think we will. We fall to our highest level of training, and so that's what we do is we get you to where it's still going to be a scary situation. It's still going to be issues that you're going to have to deal with, but it's a matter of being able to manage what you're dealing with appropriately, managing your emotions and your mental status and physically your body changes according to all those things. So tactics is just part of what we do. The larger part of what we do is help you deal and manage with the bad things, those things that will keep you from doing those tactics correctly. So if you're not doing your tactics correctly, you have a good chance of being shot or wounded or injured of some sort. So that's what we do. Now, I showed you the equipment and so forth. Again, I want to take a moment to encourage you, if you haven't liked our Facebook page, to like it. If you have, I would encourage you to go to the invite page or the invite section and invite all your friends to our page. I'd like to ask you or encourage you to tag somebody in this video or share this video so that it can reach out to other people that can maybe understand a little bit about who we are, what we do, where we do it, when we do it, which I'll get to here in just a moment, and why we do it. Because why we do it, hi Cynthia. So why we do it is probably just as important as anything else. So what we do here at our facility is not range work. Now, we do range work. We do range work from basic handgun manipulation to, well, you name it, we do and can do it. We can do the advanced things. Hey, Lucas, we can do basic courses with handguns, rifles, shotguns, to the advanced ones. The only thing that we don't do ourselves, we don't do sniper stuff. We don't do that. Neither one of us are qualified to train that, and so we don't. If someone's interested in sniper type of thing, we may or may not be able to find somebody to come in and do that kind of thing. However, we don't do that. Hey, Katie. So We so that's who we are. That's where we are. It's what we do. And so when do we do it? Well, right now, as we all know, we're closed down. We're closed down like hundreds and thousands of business across this state and hundreds of thousands around the nation. Hey, George, we're shut down. We honor that. We want to do our part, and is it hurting us financially? Absolutely, it is. But it's the right thing to do. So we're shut down. But when do we do the training when we're running? Would be the appropriate question, and the answer to that is we schedule training events. Now, what I mean by we schedule training events, we require a minimum of 4 people and a maximum of 8 people for our training events here at our facility, or at a church, or at a school, or law enforcement training. If a law enforcement agency wants to host a course, we will go to them. But for our realistic force-on-force training like we do here at our facility, we require someone to initiate at least 4 people to schedule a course. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only way that you can participate in the course, because if someone else schedules a course and they only have 4 people, we will do a maximum of 8 people for any one course. And I'll explain to you why we keep it at 8. So if we have 4 people that come together and schedule a training date, we put it, hey, bud, we put it on our calendar. We have them log in our website and book the course, and then we advertise it to other people that may be interested in it. So it doesn't require you as an individual to get another 3 people. Although if you want a particular date, if you want a particular type of training course, I highly suggest that and encourage it. The caveat to our training, however, and you need to understand, and we are very strict on this, is that all the participants must have a concealed weapons permit. Let me explain that. I know by law you're not required to have a concealed weapons permit to have a gun and carry a gun. I get that. But we are both from law enforcement backgrounds. We have an extensive amount of experience and training with dealing with, hey, Tony, with bad situations. And we are dedicated to helping good people save innocent people, including themselves, and we are going to do everything that we possibly can to keep from training the wrong people. So what we do by requiring concealed weapons permit is twofold. One is that you've had to have some sort of basic training with a handgun, which is very important with what we do. And then the most important part of that is that requires that person to have a background check. We are very adamant that we are not going to train the next mass murderer on purpose. We are going to do everything that we possibly can to keep that from happening. So you may join a scheduled training if you don't have a group of your own. As an individual, you can when space is available. How you know when space is available, you can contact me, you can email me, you can send a message through here or through Facebook, you can send a email to me, you can call me. I'll give you my number here in just a second, and set up training as a group, or I can put you on a list for those slots that may be available when someone does get a training when we get back up and going. To schedule a class, you would contact me directly. My phone number is 304-389-7565. You can email me at omegatacticalconcepts@yahoo.com. When we schedule a training class, we post those on our website. We also push it through Facebook so people know. Our website is Omega TAC, TAC concepts.com. That's where we require everybody to pre-register and pay online before we actually set a scheduled date. We require at least the first 4 to pay. So why do we do, in ending this, and why do we do what we do? And that's probably the most simple and sincere answer that I can give you now or ever, and that is we just want to save lives. Everything that we do from beginning to end, whether it is law enforcement training, whether it is civilian training in churches or schools, or John Doe who carries to protect himself, his family, or his friends, or innocent people. Everything that we do from beginning to end is addressed with the priority of life and the importance that every life is important, including the person that is causing a threat. And our whole one of our other concepts of what our training is based on is that which we teach how to stop a threat, not to kill anybody. We don't teach anybody to kill anybody. We teach people to stop a threat and only use that amount of force that is required to stop a threat, whether it is law enforcement or civilians and everything in between. That is the true concept of what we teach and how we teach it. It's extremely, extremely important to embrace that idea and that concept in anything that it relates to, hey, Mark, with what we do, what you may or may not do as a civilian, as law enforcement, or whatever you may be into. So, in ending this video, I'd just like to ask you to, again, like or love or wow this video, whatever it takes. Make some comments, some positive comments of where you're from, some positive interaction of some sort. If you carry, what you carry, how often do you carry, things like that. And also ask you to or encourage you to tag someone, share the video, tag someone that you think might be interested, and then join me next week because I'm going to be taking you to the range. I'm going to show you the range that we use. I'm going to show you what it has to offer. I'm going to talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages of training on the range because there's advantages and disadvantages to training on the range, just like there's advantages and disadvantages to training 360 force-on-force reality-based training. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit next week while I'm at the range. I'm going to try to do it live like this one. However, the range, sometimes I don't have good service there. So I'm going to attempt to go live next Wednesday about the same time, 4 o'clock, and see if I can't go live and take you around the range. If I can't go live, I will record it and I will post it later when I get back to service somewhere. It's an awesome range. And please again, don't forget to tell your friends, tag a friend. Set your notification. Don't just like our page and follow our page. Go to our videos and set the notification that you are notified with all our videos because, as I said, we are going to start being more engaged with the community, and as we go through and explain as we explain who we are, where we're doing it, and what we do, and everything. I'm going to start doing once a week if possible. I'm going to start doing one same time, same day, Wednesdays around 4. Hey, Jed, little lessons, and I got a lot in mind to do. Some of them are very simple. Some of them, you may or may not know. Some Some you probably will not know unless you've actually done a lot of training. So I want to encourage you to tag someone, share them, get them to get on our Facebook page, like us, follow us, set their notifications to be notified when our videos go up. As this progresses from week to week, I think it will be very interesting and very worth your time and your effort. If I know Jed there and Lucas, they've been in our training. Regina has been in our training. I don't know if Regina's still in there or not, but they know. I think they know the value. They can vouch for us. In fact, they have been a couple of the people that have put reviews on our Facebook site. So I would encourage you to reach out to them and ask them, or look at their comments and so forth. So that's all I have today. Again, I'd like you to encourage you at least to be proactive in engaging in our videos from here on out. The one thing that I will ask in closing in that is, and I know some of you aren't shy on this at all, and I don't expect you to, nor do I want you to, but what kind of training do you want? We do all kinds of training. We can set up particular training for you in a group that you get put together, just like Lucas and his buddies have. So what kind of training are you interested in, if any? Make a comment. Just because this goes off of live doesn't mean that I won't come back and review it, because I will. I'll come back and I'll review the comments, and I'll continue to for a while, and I will respond and comment back and get with you on that. And so in closing, again, I'm Paul Kerner with Omega Tactical Concepts. I appreciate you taking time and tuning in, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. Thank you, Lucas. And I will hopefully see y'all next week about the same time, next Wednesday around 4 o'clock, I hope. And I will talk to you then. See you then. Thanks.